Why narcissists suffer in silence, the untold story. Hello and welcome back. Today, we're going to dive into a topic that might surprise you. When you think of a narcissist, you probably imagine someone who is loud, confident, and always demanding attention. They seem to have it all figured out, charming everyone around them, seeking admiration, and never seeming to doubt themselves. But what if I told you that behind this confident exterior, many narcissists are dealing with a deep, hidden struggle that they rarely, if ever, let the world see? Yes, you heard that right. Narcissists, with all their bravado, often suffer in silence, keeping their true pain and insecurities locked away where no one else can find them. It's a story that goes untold, buried beneath layers of manipulation and self-assuredness. If you've ever wondered what might be going on inside the mind of a narcissist when the mask comes off, stick around. We're going to explore why narcissists suffer in silence and what it is that keeps them trapped in their own private misery. Before we get into the heart of this discussion, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, like this video, and share it with anyone who might need a deeper understanding of narcissists and their hidden struggles. Trust me, you won't want to miss this insight into the mind of someone who might be much more complicated than they appear. Let's unpack why narcissists often suffer in silence, what drives their hidden pain, and how it shapes their behavior. At first glance, narcissists might appear to be the least likely people to suffer in silence. They thrive in the spotlight, always seeking validation and admiration from those around them. It's as if their entire identity is built around being seen, heard, and admired. But that's exactly where the problem starts. The life of a narcissist is like a stage performance. They're constantly acting, putting on a show for the world. They create an image of themselves that is perfect, untouchable, and larger than life. But this image is only skin deep, and maintaining it takes an incredible amount of effort. Beneath that polished exterior, many narcissists feel a sense of emptiness that they can never quite fill, no matter how much applause they receive. Imagine being trapped in a cycle where your sense of worth is entirely dependent on the approval of others. That's what life is like for many narcissists. They rely on external validation to feel good about themselves, but no matter how much attention they get, it never seems to be enough. This is why they keep seeking more praise, more admiration, more proof that they matter. But at the end of the day, when the crowd goes home and the spotlight dims, they're left alone with their thoughts. And in those quiet moments, the truth they try so hard to avoid starts to creep in. It's a truth that tells them that, deep down, they don't feel as special as they want the world to believe. It's a loneliness that is hard to describe, a sense that no matter how much they achieve, it will never be enough to silence the doubts inside their mind. One of the reasons narcissists suffer in silence is because they are terrified of vulnerability. Vulnerability, to them, is like a chink in their armor, a sign that they are not as perfect as they present themselves to be. This fear of being seen as flawed or imperfect drives them to hide their true emotions, even from those closest to them. They have built their entire identity around being strong, confident, and in control, so admitting to feelings of sadness, fear, or insecurity would mean shattering that carefully crafted image. As a result, they keep their struggles hidden, pretending that they don't need anyone's help, even when they're hurting inside. But this fear of vulnerability comes with a heavy cost. By refusing to acknowledge their true feelings, narcissists cut themselves off from genuine human connection. They might have plenty of people around them, but these relationships are often shallow, based more on admiration than mutual support. When life gets tough, they find themselves with no one to turn to. because they've never allowed themselves to show their true selves to anyone. It's like being surrounded by a crowd but feeling completely alone. And in those moments, their inner pain becomes almost unbearable, but they keep it hidden because showing it would mean admitting that they are not as invincible as they want to seem. This brings us to another key reason why narcissists suffer in silence: their deep-seated shame. While they project an image of superiority, many narcissists struggle with feelings of shame that go all the way back to their childhood. Perhaps they were made to feel inadequate or unworthy in some way, and over time, they learned to cope by building up a false sense of superiority. But that shame never truly goes away. It lurks beneath the surface, always threatening to break through. Narcissists spend their lives trying to outrun this shame, using their accomplishments, their charm, and their manipulation to keep it at bay. But when they're alone, and the distractions fade, that old, familiar shame comes creeping back. It's a feeling that they cannot tolerate, so they bury it deeper, keeping it hidden from everyone else, and even from themselves. And then there's the fear of being exposed. Narcissists go to great lengths to create a persona that they believe will earn them admiration and respect. But deep down, they know that this persona isn't who they truly are. They know that if people were to see the real them, the insecure, vulnerable person beneath the facade, they might no longer receive the praise and admiration they crave. This fear of exposure keeps them in a constant state of anxiety, always worrying that someone will see through their act. It's a life where they can never truly relax, always feeling like they have to be on, even when they're exhausted. This fear, this constant need to keep up appearances, is one of the biggest sources of their silent suffering. But the most tragic part of all is that many narcissists don't even fully understand why they feel the way they do. They've spent so long avoiding their true feelings, denying their insecurities, and pretending to be someone they're not, that they've lost touch with their own inner world. They might feel a sense of dissatisfaction, a lingering unhappiness, but they can't pinpoint where it comes from. Instead of looking inward and trying to understand themselves, they continue to look outward, searching for the next source of admiration that might finally make them feel whole. But it's a search that never ends, leaving them trapped in a cycle of unfulfilled desires. This is why narcissists often react so strongly to criticism. Even a small critique can feel like a threat to their entire sense of self, triggering feelings of shame that they work so hard to suppress. To others, their reactions might seem out of proportion. Why would someone get so upset over a minor comment? But to the narcissist, it's like their worst fear coming true. It's a reminder that their perfect image isn't as unbreakable as they want it to be. So, they lash out, they deflect blame, or they retreat into silence, all in an effort to protect themselves from the pain of feeling exposed. But even in their silent suffering, there's a part of the narcissist that wishes things could be different. They might long for the kind of relationships where they can be their true selves, where they don't have to pretend to be perfect all the time. They might wish they could let their guard down, even if just for a moment, without feeling like they're risking everything. But their fear of rejection, their fear of losing the admiration they've worked so hard to gain, keeps them from ever taking that step. It's a painful irony. They want connection, but they fear it too much to ever reach out for it. So, why do narcissists suffer in silence? Because they are trapped in a world of their own making. They've built a life that revolves around being seen as perfect, but in doing so, they've cut themselves off from the very things that could bring them peace, vulnerability, authenticity, and real human connection. Their suffering is the result of a constant battle between who they want to be and who they fear they truly are. It's a story that they rarely, if ever, share with others, because to admit to their pain would mean admitting to the cracks in their carefully crafted mask. Understanding this hidden side of narcissism doesn't mean excusing their behavior. It doesn't mean overlooking the harm they can cause to those around them. But it does offer a glimpse into why they act the way they do. And it helps us see that behind their difficult behavior is a person who is struggling, even if they would never admit it. It's a reminder that everyone, even those who seem the most confident, carries their own kind of pain. Thank you so much for staying with me through this exploration of the silent suffering of narcissists. I hope this discussion has given you a new perspective on the hidden struggles that often go unnoticed behind their outward confidence. If this video helped you understand a difficult relationship in your life or brought you some clarity, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with others who might need to hear these insights. Your support means everything, and it allows us to continue bringing you more content that dives deep into the complexities of human behavior. Remember, understanding is the first step toward finding peace, both for ourselves and in how we relate to others. Until next time, take care, stay kind, and keep looking beyond the surface.